I'm John. I am 62 this year. I'm a product development executive and I've been working in my company for 30 years. I've been working from home recently, and today I've been called into office to meet my human resource director for a chat.
Hi, John. Thank you for coming down to the office. Sorry to break this to you, but due to the current COVID-19 situation and how fast-paced our company is transitioning at, we are afraid that you might not be able to keep up and have decided you have to go.
What? I have been through many tough times with the company in the past, and I've developed many great solutions for our clients. What do you mean I can't keep up? This is age discrimination. You think I'm old, therefore depressed and behind times, right? I'm even learning about blockchain technology now, I tell you. Never mind, I leave. I'm going to start my own business. Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan, and today with me are Jiayu, Faith, and Andrea. Together, we are from Group 4. I hope you enjoyed our short skit earlier, and I'm sure everyone has an idea of the topic that we are going to share about today. And that would be managing surface and deep level diversity with a main focus on age discrimination and the Encore career. So before introducing our case, let us first define what an Encore career is. Encore career is often also known as unretirement. It is a term popularized by an author called Mark Friedman in his book, Encore, Finding Work That Matters in the Second Half of Life. These careers are jobs that people typically pursue after leaving their long-time traditional career. And instead of retiring, they are pursuing a second career that balances personal fulfillment, money, and societal impact. So a very famous example would be Bill Gates. He transitioned from being a CEO at Microsoft to working full-time at Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So this is the summary of our case. So as technology becomes more advanced, people are living and working longer than before. Individuals over the age of 55 are becoming the fastest growing segment in the workforce. And these workers are facing the most discrimination. Researchers have found that the most common stereotype for older workers are that they are lower performers, which is actually in stark contrast with reality, where results show that older workers are actually highly adaptable and bring higher level of skills to jobs because of their years of experience. So although they actually have been sought after by government contractors, financial firms, and consultants, reports have found that the average unemployment job seeker takes 18 weeks more to find a job if he is older than 55. Lastly, the case also highlights the trend where older workers are now opting out of their traditional long-term career and embracing a second career, with either more flexible options such as work from home or starting their own business in pursuit of attaining a balance between finding meaning and earning money. So this is what we call the Encore career. And therefore, because of the changing landscape of the workforce, the HR professionals will face tough challenges to recruit and retain these older workers whose skills and knowledge are crucial for companies to stay ahead of the current knowledge economy. So the three main questions that we'll be addressing today are, firstly, what changes in employment relationships are likely to occur as population ages? Secondly, do you think the increasing age diversity will create new challenges for managers? What type of challenges do you expect to be the most profound? And lastly, how can organizations cope with differences related to age discrimination in workplaces? How can older employees help? So firstly, how does employment relationship change with population's age? Will employees become more autonomous? Will employees become more loyal? Do pause this video to think about what changes will take place. So as the population ages, due to the declining birth rates, the number of older workers in the workforce will increase, hence leading to an aging workforce. So one of the many changes that we are likely to face is that employment relationships will become more loyal. Secondly, more flexible. Thirdly, more costly. And lastly, more efficient. So now I'll hand over my time to Jiayu, who will elaborate more on these changes.
Thank you, Jonathan. I'll be elaborating on the first point where employment relationships will become more loyal with an aging workforce. As workers get older, the less likely they are to quit their job. This is because when workers get older, they will have fewer job opportunities because their skills have become more specialized. Research has also suggested that a major obstacle to career change among older workers is that they fear starting again from the bottom. As such, many older workers will feel discouraged from quitting and continue to stay on. Another reason why older workers are more loyal is due to the fact that they are generally more satisfied with their work. Older workers generally enjoy higher wages, longer paid vacations, and extra benefits such as increased autonomy. Such perks have led to older workers feeling more satisfied with their work and hence are committed to their organizations and less likely to leave. This is further backed by real-world statistics, where workers under the age of 34 by comparison are twice as likely to leave a job. Moving on to the second point, as the population ages, employment relationships will become more flexible. This is due to the fact that as workers grow older, their priorities may shift where they may wish to work lesser hours to focus on other things in life. Older workers may also be leaning towards opting out of traditional roles and exploring flexible work from home options as time becomes way more valuable to them. Older workers are less inclined to climb the corporate ladder and instead prefer to use their time on more meaningful things. As such, in order to retain these older workers, management will have to accommodate to their preferred working style in order to still tap on their skills and expertise in our knowledge-based economy. This is where phased retirement comes into play. Phased retirement has become increasingly popular, and its definition is that it includes a broad range of employment arrangements that allow an employee who is approaching retirement age to continue working with a reduced workload and eventually transition from full-time work to full-time retirement. Many companies are offering phased retirement. For example, the French tire maker Michelin provides white-collar workers with a transitional work program. Rather than completely exiting the workforce at retirement age, older workers can stretch out their career by reducing work hours over time. This not only helps them ease their transition from work to retirement, but also provides the company with an opportunity to leverage on their own skills and experience and impart the knowledge to the next generation. This means that employment relationship will likely transform from a long hours traditional work style to a more flexible style of working as population ages. Moving on to the third point. As you can see from the picture, this is a survey done by Fractal, where it was concluded that a healthcare plan was the most valuable class of benefit among job seekers, with 88% agreeing so. As such, more companies are putting healthcare benefits as part of their employment package in a bid to attract new workers and retain existing ones. However, when the workforce ages, more will be spent by the company on such healthcare benefits as older workers are more susceptible to illnesses such as high blood pressure and cancer due to their old age, bring about a more expensive employment relationship as employees will be forking out the money for their medical insurance. This is further backed by real-life statistics, where it is said that the average cost of claims paid by employers for workers over 50 was more than double compared to employees under 30. As annual healthcare costs continue to be on the rise, employees will face pressure to share the financial burden with its employees, leading to a more costly relationship. Last but not least, an aging population will lead to a more efficient workforce. An older workforce will have greater experience and will be more knowledgeable in their field, given that they have worked in the industry for years, and they'll be more familiar with the ins and outs of the industry and its history, which will lead them to make sound decisions, especially in times of chaos or panic, where younger workers may despair. This is also in line with a 4-year-long study of 3,800 Mercedes-Benz workers. Among the workers studied, it was found that the older workers seem to know how to avoid severe errors as compared to their younger counterparts. Older workers are extremely valuable and cannot be replaced easily. As such, employment relationship will become more efficient as population ages, since they become more experienced. Thank you, and I'll be now passing my time to Faith.
Thank you, Jia. So, as more older workers are employed in the workforce, age diversity will definitely create new challenges for managers. So before I reveal what my group and I discovered, I want you all to take a moment to think of some challenges that managers will face. So our group has come up with two main challenges that comes with age diversity. They are discrimination and stereotyping. So according to the textbook, discriminate is to note a difference between things, which in itself isn't necessarily bad. For example, noticing that one employee is more qualified is necessary to make hiring decisions or even promotion decisions. So a stereotype is judging someone on the basis of your perception of the group to which that person belongs. So when we talk about discrimination in the workforce, we are usually referring to when people allow their behavior to be influenced by stereotypes about groups of people. For example, like our skit earlier, people often assume that older workers cannot keep up. So this is called age discrimination, also known as ageism. So this shows some key findings of a survey by Randstad, a recruitment agency in Singapore, where they found that people typically feel that older workers have less opportunities and are discriminated against. So how many of you have actually heard this phrase, okay boomer? I think majority of you have either used it or heard it. So okay boomer is a viral internet slang phrase often used in a humorous or ironic manner to dismiss or mock attitudes typically associated with baby boomers, or the people who are now currently 57 to 75 years old. Although it is usually a joke, the prominence of the phrase okay boomer highlights the widening generational gaps and also displays the unwillingness to understand different viewpoints of others. The result of this can create a poor and uncooperative workplace. So now, what do you all think about this statement? Older workers lack flexibility and are generally less adaptable compared to younger workers. Is this a stereotype or a fact? Of course, it's a stereotype. A study done by the ARC Center of Excellence in Population Aging Research found that a higher proportion of workers over 55 say that they have coped with changes to the way they complete core tasks compared to the response of their colleagues in the younger age groups, particularly those aged between 18 and 44. Okay, then now what about this statement? Older workers' job performance declines with age, and they are incapable of learning new concepts such as technology. So while it is true that the older you are, the less you use the internet and computer, according to the first graph taken from NCBI, the statement that older workers being incapable of learning new concepts and having a declining job performance is definitely a stereotype, as the data to support this was scarce. In fact, majority of the reliable research studies that are available indicate that these stereotypes are inaccurate. So a research done by the Society for Human Resource Management Foundation was summarized on the table in the right and showed that mature workers frequently perform as well as younger workers. So now that we understand more about stereotyping and discrimination, what happens when managers engage in these practices? A stereotype threat is created when the worker agrees internally that older workers or the group that he identifies with are out of date, which is the stereotype. So in other words, people become their worst enemies when they feel this threat. So they can ironically and strangely enough exaggerate or self-handicap to avoid effort so you can attribute the failure to other sources. And finally, people can also overcompensate for this stereotype threat. So all these can lead to brain drain. So basically, it means that the ability of workers to acquire knowledge is decreased, thus decreasing the organization's general effectiveness as well. So age diversity, together with other demographic characteristics, such as gender, is a type of surface level diversity. So although it can lead employees to make stereotypes and assumptions about others from certain demographic backgrounds, evidence has shown that people are more willing to overlook demographic differences if they see themselves as sharing deep level characteristics such as personality and values. I will now be passing the time to Andrea.
Thank you, Faith. Now that we have seen various stereotypes associated with older workers and learned the value they bring to the workplace, we now see the importance of having such workers around. Now, I will be answering the question, how do organizations tackle differences related to age discrimination in the workplace? Here's a summary of the 3 main ways organizations can potentially tackle differences relating to age discrimination in the workplace. They are on-the-job training schemes, age diversity programs, and workshops that help enhance technical skills of the older workforce. On-the-job training schemes are programs involving the older workers teaching and imparting relevant skills and knowledge they gained over the course of their career to the younger ones. Through these schemes, younger workers can learn from the mistakes made by older workers when they share their experiences with them. Through their interactions, they get to learn of one another's stories, values, and differences, and with time, they may come to find commonalities and adapt to one another's work dynamic. This improves overall employee relationships as younger employees value the contributions of the older workers, and both parties are able to accept their differences in terms of work dynamics or values. Based on research conducted, it has been shown that employers believe that older workers can bring about positive impacts to the workforce, highlighting the usefulness of such schemes in imparting their knowledge of, for instance, work procedures to the younger workers and improving working relationships between the older and younger workers. For example, in job shadowing, an older employee shows a younger employee what to do and lets the employee try. During this process, the older employee provides feedback and imparts knowledge to help the younger employee improve. Younger employees can gain a better understanding of the job and the working dynamics of the older employee. Through these interactions, younger employees may come to accept any differences they may have. Next, companies can come up with age diversity programs which aims to raise awareness and provide information on the importance of bridging age-related differences. Companies may face challenges that involve large workforce interaction between older and younger workers. This may lead to disputes and misunderstandings between workers that can be prevented. Effective diversity programs can help the differences between people in the larger workforce be overlooked, resulting in everyone working towards a common goal. However, in order for these programs to be effective, managers should aim to bring out the skills and abilities of the aging workforce so other employees can value the contributions they bring and learn to appreciate their presence in the company. For example, during diversity programs, bonding sessions and workshops explain the benefits of having good working relations between the older and younger workers can be carried out. If face-to-face bonding sessions are not possible, especially due to the COVID-19 situation, online bonding sessions involving small groups of age-diverse workers can be conducted. As research suggests, organizing team bonding activities can have a positive impact on one's relationships with colleagues, workplace satisfaction, and productivity. Lastly, companies can conduct workshops aimed at teaching the older workers technological skills to help them remain relevant in the industry. Due to rapid advancements in technology, older workers may not be well versed in modern technology that the younger generation may be familiar with, giving rise to differences in the work ethics of the older and younger workers. Through these workshops, older workers learn to use software and various tools online that the younger generation is more familiar with and begin to adopt similar practices. This can help to cultivate consistent work ethic practices regardless of age. Hence, organizations can address the issue of a difference in work ethic between older and younger workers. Statistics have shown that older workers are less familiar with computer devices and its applications compared to younger workers. As such, conducting workshops to enhance their technical skills can help them to cope better in the digitalized world and be equipped with the skills that many younger workers have. For example, younger workers can conduct workshops teaching older workers how to use Python, which is a multi-purpose program language that is increasingly being used by many companies for many functions. Equipping older workers with knowledge on such a program will build a foundation and increase their knowledge on how to utilize such programming softwares. Through this, older and younger employees not only work together and learn to communicate through the process, but also allow older employees to become more familiar with such computer device applications, allowing them to establish a common work ethic between themselves. Thank you for your kind attention. Here are some extra research our group did. Feel free to pause the video and check them out. Thank you and bye-bye.